pretty good session. So I know these three leaders quite well. I'll tell you three small stories, three of them. Larry Bugini sent the RFP, remember I said in 2010 late? My team said, look at this RFP asking for 400,000 users to be supported. And we at Zscaler had about 15 customers at that time. Our single largest customer had 10,000 users. And then Manoj can say, should we respond to it? I said, what do you mean? Why not? We're going to learn. We're going to participate. And we did. We actually got a technical win. Then finally, the finance groups called me for viability check and wanted to send 3 years financial statements. So that's where the deal stalled, and we moved on. Okay. But that was good learning. Okay. And then Ken had moved to AutoNation, as he said. He bought Zscaler, he rolled it out. He sent me a note the very first day he rolled it out. In the morning, he said, look, it got rolled out. The very first thing they found was the desktop of the COO was infected. And the machine picked up, so he went to the COO and said, we need to fix your machine. That's pretty good. Okay. I mean, he got instant credibility. Mariah, she told you about her call to me, actually pulled from my Google Mail. She sent me a note. I had invited her for a conference. She sent me a note. She said, not sure I want to attend. We have many issues with the tool. Okay. So obviously, I couldn't really sit there. So I wrote her and said, look, it's unusual. It's not common for us to have issues sitting out there. I want to talk to you. Okay. And we talked, and there's some config issues for captive portal. It got sorted out. And then what was very good for me was a couple of months later, I get an email from her without asking for anything. She said, Jay, my Zscaler ZPA has been working great. I have been traveling all over Europe, and it had worked in all situations with all captive portals. Okay. So great to see things working well with our customers. As I wrap up, I want to summarize a few messages and themes we had. So first of all, this session was all about empowering your digital transformation. You're all in the midst of it. It's no longer talking about starting. It's really making it happen and making it happen well. We heard a lot about change that's happening at a fast pace. Yesterday afternoon's last speaker, Salim Ismail, I mean, a great speaker. No one could have done a better job in talking about change causing disruption. Right? The message being, it's good to be proactive and disrupt ourselves rather than trying to tinker with the status quo. That is the first initial reaction of all human beings. Can we tweak and retrofit what we have? Now, tweaking has room when small changes happen. When big changes are causing disruption, you need disruptive solutions. So survival of companies requires transformation in the face of big disruptions going on. Now, to really make that happen, we can't tweak things. You end up needing disruptive solutions, disruptive technologies, and know-how and understanding of how to happen, how to leverage them. I mean, that really empowers you for transformation because you need to know what to do, what tools to use, and how to use them to drive transformation in your company. What is being disrupted today is this. This needs no explanation. Our goal is to help you drive transformation to a world that's fairly simple, the world which has no walls. Where do you put these boxes in the cloud. So really thinking about a business policy engine that connects the right user to right application, irrespective of the device, location, and whatever, or irrespective of where the applications are sitting. Hopefully, you got a pretty good understanding of all this. And to do overall transformation, you can't work with one vendor. You need a number of vendors that integrate and work together. It's great to see even Microsoft has become so open-minded and friendly. It's great to see Microsoft standing up and they're saying, you will be using Google Cloud, you'll be using this and that. We have always embraced that philosophy that we need to work with partners and integrate them. And you saw the ecosystem, the blueprint we described yesterday. You end up picking a leader in a given area that works well. And then better integration done with those partners makes it easy for you to deploy, run, and manage your solutions. I thought the demo Patrick did for the day in the life that shows all steps of integration made a lot of sense. The next, technology alone only goes so far. You need a mindset. You need mindset change and cultural change. If people aren't ready to adapt it, no matter how wonderful technological solution you're driving, they'll fail because people who don't want to do something for whatever reason, there may be 15 reasons to do it, but there'll be 1 or 2 reasons why it shouldn't be done. So to successfully transform the company, that mindset change is needed. A CIO I talked to last year told me that it was easier for him to get budget approved for transformation from the board than to convince a number of his team members, right? So that mindset, that cultural change generally happens with knowing and learning. When we learn from others' experiences, we get comfortable because change always causes a little discomfort. And and the discomfort is, will this work? This is new. What if it fails? It's the inertia, it's the fear to fail that causes people to hold on to what they know better. But when you learn, you understand things, and when you read stories, when you talk to all other progressive people, forward thinkers, you actually get comfortable, your peers get comfortable to make it happen. This book, hopefully all of you had a chance to look at it. I saw the free copies are being handed out in the exhibit area. If you don't have it, stop by reception area. I'm sure they'll give it a copy to you. There are about 15 interviews in this book of various leaders who have gone through this journey. So the book is essentially a collection of interviews without much interpretation. So that'll be very helpful for you and your organization who are going through this journey. The second book, this is written by the author, the speaker from yesterday, Exponential Organizations. The entire pitch he gave is actually a subset of the whole thing he has described in this book. And lastly, to make it easier for you to consume information in today's world. Remember we said we no longer want to go to this class and that class, information on our fingertips. This is a new app. We call it Executive Insights. We are launching. The goal here is that any IT professional should be able to literally get critical information with a few clicks on your mobile phone or your tablet. Now, this is designed for the mid to senior level management. This is not to replace your admin console, but being able to get all information at your fingertips, starting with your company risk score, your traffics, patterns, changes, all that stuff. I expect this app to grow and change every quarter based on the input you drive. But I'm pretty passionate about it because I see so many dashboards that are 5 across and 6 down. They're so complex, and someone has to explain to what they are. Our goal was to simplify information and still being able to drill down. So I encourage all of you to get hold of it. I didn't get exactly how do we get it. We'll make sure you have information available from a product management team, where to download it and how to provision it. We have made it literally single-click deployment. Also, to make the most of your transformation, we offer these architecture workshops. They are free of charge. We have a number of very smart architects in the company who generally do a 3 to 5 hour session where your networking people, your security people, your architect people, they all come together. And it's essentially a whiteboarding session. It's when you start doing all this transformation, the questions come, if I do local break on the branch, what happens to my DNS resolution? It's being done in the data center. So all those questions get sorted out. When architects get comfortable, it's a lot easier to drive your transformation. And this is not just needed by you before buying Zscaler. This is actually helpful even after you have bought Zscaler service. As GE's CIO last year, he mentioned to me, Jim Fowler, he said, you are a small piece of my IT budget, but without Zscaler, I have no cloud strategy because you're a linchpin to my strategy. Now, we are sitting and doing the job of a policy engine, which also means that we are fairly a neutral third party for a number of other decisions you're making. SD-WAN to identity to endpoint to SIM and the like. We can share with you how other customers are doing it because we are not in those businesses. Those are adjacent markets for us. And when architectural discussions happen, those discussions are not about how Zscaler service works, how deep it is. It is all about how will your network and security transform as you are changing the whole thing, that complex network you saw. I've been in the security space for most of my career, a big part of my career. I've become pretty passionate about it. What bothers me is that so much money gets spent on security, and still we are getting hacked all the time. I mean, it's scary. Okay? And I think the approach of trying to really keep on throwing more and more old school technology at is not the answer. I'm a big fan of zero attack surface. If you aren't advertising where you are, if they can't see you, they can't attack you. So our underlying mission in this company, and my personal mission, is that we want to get you to a stage where you don't have a single IP address that's facing the internet. Where will they attack you? With the Zscaler Internet Access Service, your egress points have no attack surface. They are hidden behind Zscaler. You may have 1,000 egress points, but none of them will be seen out there. With Zscaler Private Access, your ingress points disappear. Any of the servers sitting out there won't be seen. So once you get to the zero attack surface, your security goes up significantly. With that, I'd like to thank you for your partnership. We appreciate the time. We know that you have lots of options out there, and taking 2 days to get together with us is a big deal. So thank you, and we'll see you next year. Great. Enjoy.